So excited whenever that tool dropped. And so people just got started producing all kinds of crazy pictures all over the case. And one of the questions that came up from that was like, okay, like one, are artists like just getting pushed out of the picture now, which I don't think that's the case. What are some like use cases that you're seeing from people in the business and the content creation world specifically? Because obviously my take on it is that this art tool is still just going to help catalyze your creativity and like empower artists to create even cooler things. But from a business perspective, I'm a content marketer. I'm creating stuff for a website, for a blog, to sell products, to promote my own products. What are maybe some ways that you're seeing the community use right now that, and also like ways that you can see maybe potential use cases as the tool improves?
Yeah, I'll hit some of the use cases which are exciting. With all inventions, there are some people that live in a state of fear where they're like, oh my gosh, am I going to be replaced and out of a job? And it's simply not the case. Look at the time horizon. Like, you find that when a new invention or a style of creativity emerges, it actually expands the market and expands the opportunities for more income streams, for more creative uses and how you approach a creative project, and also allowing bandwidth. So being able to scale up and do more. We've never been on the camp that AI is here to replace anyone. As we've known and seen over the last year, AI content writing is not replacing people. It's actually enabling them to expand and scale output and to do it in less time. So if you're a bootstrap team that is trying to crank out content and be omnipresent across all your social channels, before you'd literally be waking up early and going to bed late, getting home late, trying to create content. And now you're enabling actually like shorter time, maybe even getting home early to go pick up your kids, or not spending your weekends doing like a Sunday content catalog. This is just what's awesome is like when you have a great tool, it's here to help efficiency and scale. And so I found after interviewing a lot of copywriters, even here at the summit, at Traffic and Conversion Summit, met so many content writers and copywriters, and they're like, this is my best assistant. They're my brainstorming buddy. They're my sidekick. And when I think about art, it's the evolution of the paintbrush. One artist I was talking with, he's in the family. He has Bell's palsy, and art is actually a really great enabler. And but when he started to lose control of his hands and start fidgeting, when I was showing him art, it was like, oh my gosh, I can actually speak what's in my imagination and start to craft paint in real life. Similar is like enabling, there's a famous blogger who speaks their blogs. And so this is the kind of thing like Jasper can help enable. So these are like some use cases and also enablement for creative process and for scale and for efficiency. And brainstorming tends to be the top use case where it's here to help inspire your ideas. So if you're like, I need 8 creative hooks to test, or even just to inspire my own ideas, and I can figure out which direction I want to go with. And this is what we're really finding is our stride is in the marketing community, that they are using AI, specifically Jasper, to enable their creative workflow.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think the enablement is such a cool thing that Jasper has helped so many people, obviously myself included, and so many people in this community. For someone who's just exploring the ideas of AI, maybe they haven't been a part of the Jasper community, they're just getting a taste of everything for the first time at this summit. What are maybe a few like pointers and just general like tips that you would give someone that's just starting this? Assume they're probably using AI for business marketing of some sort, but maybe some of the key tips and tricks for people just getting started to get on the right path for this tool.
Yeah, I think first is be patient with yourself and know that like new technology like artificial intelligence might sound daunting when you get in and you're like, there's this thing in there that can consume information and create new outputs. How am I going to work with this? Am I behind on the times? And no, you're on the cutting edge of the future and you're right along with us. And we're going to do our best to make it easy for everybody to get the result that they intend to. Second is it takes practice learning. It's an instrument. And if you've never hired before, if maybe you're a solopreneur, or if you're maybe not even in business all the time and like it's a side hustle and you've never worked with giving directions to someone. Hiring your first assistant takes patience on yourself. What we're finding is AI is a puppy, and you are wanting to take the puppy to training. What you'll find out is that training is mostly about training the owner and not the puppy. So, yes, like we are teaching Jasper on how to write great copywriting, and that's our job. That's not your job. Your job is to learn, train the puppy now that you have it to get the result you want. The commands, sit, stay, lay down, etc. Right? Now, what does that mean for you? How do you structure a really good command? Directions for your assistant, outsourcing, things like that. It requires good input. The better the input, the better the output. If you don't know how to train your dog, then even if it knows all the commands, if you don't know how to say those commands to get the result you're thinking of, or even inspired, I didn't know dogs could do this. Go get me a beer out of the fridge. There's dogs that can do that. If only you knew they could. So it is our job. And obviously what you guys do is really a lot too, is training the humans that use the AI on how to use the AI. For example, did you know that you could be like, hey, Jasper, read the above and rewrite in the tone of voice of Jerry Seinfeld? And it understands that command. So it's read Jerry Seinfeld stuff and it can read the above to then produce a rewritten result. You can also have, let's say that you have a structure and you have like placeholders. So for example, you're doing an outbound email and you have a winning formula, but you want to personalize it for each person that you're sending to. So you say a placeholder for a name, the season, maybe market conditions, or their company name. You can say, hey, Jasper, write an email like the above for Darby Rollins. The season is autumn in Austin, Texas. And so then it'll rewrite the email with that structure. And it won't be exact. It won't even be verbatim the same because it's not doing ad libs. It will rewrite it uniquely, but with that as a good behavior.